Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach on episode 119, Diamondbacks versus Dodgers Game 3. Lineup of today, Gabe Marino playing catcher, Kento Marte at DH, Nolan Arenado at third base, Vargas at second base, Tim Tawa at center field, Taylor Locklear at first, and Ryan Wolfsman at left field, and the rest is the same. And then top of the eighth, Tim Tawa came in to play first base over Tyler Locklear, and Jorge Brosa went in to play center field. So that's that. So, yeah. Pretty much of enough. The only people did not get a base hit is Corbin Carroll, Nolan Arenado, and Ryan Wolfsman. Fortunately enough for Ryan Wolfsman, he went 0 for 1 because enough some sac flies, bunts, sac bunts, I meant to say, and some walks also and stuff. So not a whole lot. So that's pretty much of that. But the rest got base hits, not the best, but overall it's better than nothing. So that's pretty much of that. So yeah. And then pitching wise enough, starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, Aurora Rodriguez. 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck out 9, walked 2, and gave up 2 runs. So back on 2-run Rodriguez this day and stuff. Looking good, 7 innings. He only pitched 115 pitches in this game, 9 strikeouts. Pretty good overall and stuff. Getting that Rodriguez we got from the All-Star and stuff. He was not doing so well the other day. So that's why it's so weird enough to see him struggling where enough of everybody else is doing good. And because before it was the opposite. Right now, he was doing pretty bad back then and stuff. Now today, especially enough against the Dodgers and stuff. Pretty good overall. So it's good to see him back and healthy. He would never been injured and stuff, but it's just good to see him to do good overall and stuff. And then the Dodgers starting pitcher is Justin Robleski. It's hard to say those names. He went 4 innings, gave it 6 hits, struck out 3, walked 3, and gave up 4 runs. So not saying the matchup enough with Rodriguez overall, but fortunately enough, he's here and there and stuff. He's been struggling overall in sense, especially now he's an All-Star. Didn't really make no sense because he was a little bit late to the All-Star. So that's where enough of just like, huh? Like what? How did he get to the All-Star? He's not even that good, but clearly enough I didn't know anything about that. So that's pretty much of that. And also it's possibility enough of he's just the next step for other pitchers were not going to be part of the All-Star or they were injured at the time. So that's probably the reason why he was part of it. And he sucked. Now in the All-Star, I think he also got the loss from the All-Star too. It's just really, dude, come on. And then the bullpen for the Diamondbacks is Taylor Clark and Kevin Ginkel getting his save of the day and stuff. So that's that. We're going to go scoring and stuff. I pretty much took out the boring stuff, so these are the ones that we're going to talk about. Gabe Marino with the RBI double. Fortunately enough, he went to triple because of how the Dodgers keep making errors and stuff. Making 4-0 bottom of the second. I totally skipped for Kento Marte with his 2 home run to make it 2-0 bottom of the first. I apologize for that and stuff. I totally skipped Marte's home run. What the heck? I gotta read my notes clearly in a way. So that's on me. Andy Padres with the RBI double to make it 1-4, top of third. Kyle Tucker with the RBI triple to make it 2-4, top of the sixth. That is the final score. Diamondbacks did win 4-2. Their record right now is 63-56, doing pretty good, winning the series over the Dodgers. We have won the series over the Dodgers since 2018. Kind of crazy to think about that and stuff. So yeah, looking pretty good, pretty solid. This is the last series and last game we are facing against the Dodgers. So we're done with the Dodgers. I'm thankful for that, and also we win on a high note and stuff. That's a positive thing and stuff. So yeah, pretty good over that. Progress. Just love what I'm seeing and stuff. We got to go big, hit pretty well enough. Our offense is coming pretty alive, hot at this time and stuff, and they just got to keep going. Be successful, have consistent, and have that energy and just this confidence that they need and stuff, and try to push that wild card spot into first place if we could, or just getting on top of the wild card. Just any case enough, just keep winning and be successful, and that's what we really need to do and stuff. And fortunately enough, pitching looks pretty good in this game and stuff overall and stuff. I understand enough of, I already spoiled it, the game a lot early than enough from the last episode we talked about in game 2 against the Dodgers, but I was a little bit late to it and stuff, so that's just why I want to talk about it from that episode and this episode as well and stuff. So pretty good enough, beating the Dodgers, showing enough Dodgers can be beatable overall and stuff. They're not the best team overall and stuff. There's other teams out there are pretty good as well. Who cares enough? They got Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and the rest of the people. Terry Scuba. It doesn't even matter and stuff. Dodgers are going downhill at this time. They got back-to-back sweeps from the Red Sox and the Cubs. They just lost a series against us. So fortunately enough, Dodgers still need work on out of it. They're still in first place. Still, honestly enough, a good team, but they are been struggling lately at this time and stuff, and we got an advantage over them. So that's a good sign for the Diamondbacks, bad side for the Dodgers, but they're the sticking Dodgers. Didn't even matter about them and stuff. They still overall a good team, but yeah, we just gotta keep winning overall. Be over from the Padres, be with the Phillies in the wild card, be much closer with the Cubs and all that stuff. So that's why we need just keep winning, keep grinding, and then just focus on what's positive for us and stuff. And they've been doing it over since from that point and stuff. The MVP for this game is going to be Gerardo Rodriguez, 2-run Rodriguez, and stuff. He did pretty good overall. That's why he is the MVP. This is his 4th one on this podcast and stuff, so that's pretty good for him and stuff. I was going to give it to Marte as well with his 2 home run, but fortunately enough, doing pretty good on a good team from Rodriguez, and love to see him do a good performance and stuff. So that's why I gave it to him instead. That's pretty much overall of that and stuff. We're playing the Rockies today, so hopefully we can get another good advantage over them. Who knows? Rockies are honestly a lot better than last year and stuff. They got better players and stuff, but we gotta not muse enough of go on easy on the Rockies and stuff, and we just gotta go big and win some games over them, maybe sweep them if we could and stuff. I'm not gonna say overall, but that's what we wanted to go for and stuff. But overall enough, it would be better if we just beat the series over them than just going for the sweep and stuff. Sweep is the best one to go for, but it's better just to win the series overall in the case of that. So hopefully we can do that and stuff. I get enough. It's the Rockies, saying enough of like, oh, this is gonna be easy. We're gonna sweep them. We could, we, we have done it before, but there's times enough we've been losing against the Rockies before. So, gonna have your hopes up enough, so much enough to have some like definitely confidence on the Diamondbacks to literally sweep the Rockies. They could win overall enough to it, but I'm not gonna, have my doubts enough of like, oh, that's what we wanted to go for, but hopefully enough of we don't struggle too much against the Rockies. Just those things. Now, say we hope. We hope we can sweep them. We hope we can win better over than the Rockies and just keep winning. That's all we need. Okay? You're going to say enough of, like, oh, yeah, we're going to sweep the Rockies, where enough of we didn't. I don't want to have that hopes, man. Like, I just don't want to doubt myself in a way, and I don't want that. I want to keep saying hoping and hope we can do that and stuff. And the only thing enough to just for that for the Diamondbacks is they got to go out there and do their best. So that's the positive way. We're enough of like, don't be so negative, That's just me. So yeah, that's pretty much of that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.